Hi, yay, second time lucky. Hi, everybody. Yeah, we are, like I say, going to do a gentle class tonight, so hopefully that suits you all. But if you need more, as always, you can always just throw in some vinyasas or some heavy planks, just something to make it strong. So I'll give a hello to everyone's on the chat, and anyone that's not on the chat, hello as well. We've got Helen. Hi, Helen. And Sarah, lovely to see you. Annie, lovely. Oh, candles on. Yay. Ian and Catherine, lovely to see you. Linda, hi. And Tracy, I'm really sorry you had a difficult week. Sending you hugs and love. Yeah, really hope you enjoy the class. And Timur, lovely to see you. And Annabelle. Great. So we'll get started. And so we've done this style before. So yin, yang, yin. So we start a little bit slow, a little bit gentle, and then do a little flow just to warm up the body. So we do feel like we've had a little bit of movement, and then hold some good stretches for back pain. That's been requested. So hopefully, fingers crossed, whoever requested that, I really hope that your back feels better. So anyway, yeah, let's start in child's pose. Wide knees if that's available for your body. If it doesn't feel good, don't worry. And if child's pose doesn't help your back, because sometimes it doesn't, then you could lie down on your back with your knees in. Just give yourself a hug. So you have a choice. All right. So in your child's pose. Oh, I've got lots of cushions for these kind of classes, but you don't need them. Anything you can find around the room will be great. And extra layers, of course. So yeah. Opening the knees wide, relaxing the hips to the heels, bringing the forehead down to the earth and just connecting. So connecting to your breath and your body. Something we might have not neglected, but maybe forgotten throughout our day. Or maybe it's had some attention, but not enough. So this is what this 1 hour is about. So if you like setting intentions for your class, this would be the time. So anything you want to achieve. So if it's a pain related, then receiving all these wonderful poses and movement that will help nourish your area that's in pain. Maybe it's to breathe more fully and deeply and let go of a busy, heavy week. So whatever it is for you, just have your eyes closed and hold your intention really strongly within, holding that true. So you can either visualize it, however that might be. So if you're a visual person, or just feeling as if that's what we're going to receive from the class. And then bowing down to that in this lovely position. So we've been here a little while. Just start to deepen your breath in and out through your nose. As you inhale through the nose, you should feel the expansion into your belly. As it expands in your belly, it might even ripple out to your back. Then exhale, release that down. Maybe the back releases down first, then the belly. And then keep it flowing. Inhale, expand the belly. Maybe the back expands too, and then exhale, release the air out. One more of those. Inhale. Fill up and really deepen that breath, and then exhale, let it soften and release. Already warm from child's pose. So from child's pose, stay there. I'm just taking an layer off. If you have the knees wide, great, stay there. If not, maybe open them slightly wider. We're going to take a twist, a wide knee child's pose twist. This could look for like anything to each of us. So you're going to start with your right side. In fact, if I mirror you, it might look a little bit easier to see. So the left arm will thread through to the right. You thread it all the way through, and then you look underneath the right armpit Did I say left armpit to the right? Yeah, left armpit towards the right. And you're looking underneath the armpit towards the right side. But at the same time that the buttocks is releasing down towards the heels. Don't worry if it's really lifted. So you're getting a twist into the upper back spine mainly, but it can go down lower. And if there's pain in this upper arm by being here, you could bend the elbow and just rest the arm into the floor. But just make sure you're somewhere you could be for a good few breaths. So we do hold these poses that little bit longer. So you can really get into the area that we're trying to get into. And when we take these twists, it's kind of as deep in towards the spine as we can. All those muscles that connect around. So yeah, breathe deep into the belly. Maybe it's further into the back. Then release. Always in and out through the nose, but remember you can sigh out the mouth at any time. Especially if there's pain, it can be a very releasing breath. Okay, if you're ready, sweep that right arm forward and then slide back. I'm not mirroring you, but don't worry, you know what you're doing. Gonna thread your right arm through to the left, and then come onto the right shoulder, maybe as you look towards the left underneath the arm. If you want to feel it a little bit more into your lower back, I've slid over a little bit more towards the left-hand side. So my head is roughly in line with that knee. And then you have the choice to have that left arm straight, or you could bend the elbow and rest it on the floor so the arm doesn't get tired. And wherever you are, make sure it's a place you can be for a few breaths. The inhale's expanding the belly and the ribs and maybe the back. And exhale, releasing, softening. Okay, and then slowly come back as you slide back. And then bring your hands towards your knees so you can find a tabletop position. So hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. We'll move through some cat-cow. So on the inhale, drop the belly and the heart and gaze comes forward. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Then exhale, pull the shoulder blades apart. Tuck the tailbone as you round the spine, bringing the belly in. And then those two with the breath. So your breath may be faster or slower. Just move with the inhale to come into cow and the exhale to take you into cat. Enjoy the movement of the body. And if you've got lower back pain, I should have said this at the beginning, but you won't want to arch too much. There could be a little bit of an arch that will feel good, but don't take it too far. So even if you stay neutral, that's better. But the cat stretch will be really healing for the back pain. So yeah, this one. You can even stay in that one for a few breaths, but it's strong on the arms. Good, and then a couple more for those that are flowing. Last cat stretch, so really finish on the exhale, rounding the spine. Good, and then come to neutral. So a little bit not our norm, but we're going to go into a lizard stretch. So we're going to do a deep hip stretch, but not hold it for too long. So you're going to bring your right foot on the outside of your right hand. And then if you need cushioning under that back knee, that can be useful. Just anything you've got padded around you is great. And just staying on the hands. We don't need to go much further than there just so early on, but yeah, wherever you are, just feel into the hip flexor and also the adductors, so the glutes on the lateral side. And yeah, breathe. Check that that's not to do with yoga. That should be off, so everybody. But stay in your lizards. Okay, doesn't look related. Okay, hopefully everything's good. I get paranoid now about technical issues. Right, anyway, keep that breath flowing. We've got one more here. And then when you're ready to release, we'll take our time to bring that right foot back. It might take a few steps. You might even crawl or shuffle, depending what you need, and you might even want to stretch with it after. Then you're going to bring your padding for the right knee as you step your left foot forward. Again, not going into the full extent of this pose that you can normally do because it's early, but we're just going to explore a lizard lunge in an early kind of part of our practice. See how that feels. Hands under shoulders. I gaze down. You could gaze forward. Just make sure it feels okay in the neck, so you can make that judgment. And breathe into all the areas that you feel something. Great, and then when you're ready, we're going to come out. So step the left foot back, taking your time. You might need a stretch for both legs. And then we'll come into our first downward facing dog. So the hands would be slightly forward to shoulder distance, but shoulder distance are apart, and then tuck the toes. Lift the hips, find your down dog. Because we're being a bit more shallow today, you could start and stay in a bent knees version. Just you could focus then on the chest to thighs and the bum up in the sky. That area will be quite good because you get a good stretch all the way down the sides of the spine. Or you could work straightening the legs and bringing the stretch there. You could pedal the legs by bending one knee at a time. So you can really just play around with your first downward dog. We'll only have a few tonight. We'll just do a couple of sun salutations and a standing pose before we do the rest on the floor. So, and if you've got, I should have said, if you've got the back pain, any back pain, then you would bend the knees and press the chest towards the thighs and lift the bum. That will hopefully feel a lot better in the spine than trying to straighten the legs. So anyway, look forward. I'll talk about that in a moment, but as you come forward, you walk the feet towards the front and then have hip distance with the feet, bending into the knees, or holding opposite elbows, relaxing the head and neck. And just let it go. This is a yin posture, so we will hold it for a few really deep breaths. If you like to use movement, you can have a little sway from side to side. Make it fluid, so there's no rigidity. It's really smooth. So the whole body is really relaxing. That takes time and practice, I find. Don't worry if your body does have a jerkiness to it. It will just take time, and then once you've learn how to really let the body weight go, you'll get a lot more out of this pose. Okay, now, keeping the knees bent, the shoulders relaxed, the head soft, you're going to release the arms and then come up to stand very slowly. So yeah, what I was going to say about if you're experiencing back pain, one of the key things I would say, especially if it's lower back, mainly if it's lower back, is to always have a bend in the knees. Because if you think about all the connections, so if they call it kinetic chain, if you think about that being, if that's tight there, and then you make the legs straight, that's just creating more tautness, and so it's pulling even more. So if you bend the knees, then it's softening that, and then it's helping. So yeah, hopefully that helps explain. It works in my head. So, right, so knees slightly bent. We're going to inhale, take a reach with the arms coming up, and then exhale into your forward fold. We're going to do 3 sun salutations. That's all. Inhale, flat back, so lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. And then step right foot back and drop the knee down. Inhale, lifting the arms up, finding low lunge. And then exhale, bring the hands down and step back to high plank. The great thing about high plank is it's great for the core, but if you're struggling with this, with back pain, just drop the knees down, but suck the belly in. So you're still getting the same that you would from plank, because that's basically what makes this core. Okay, last breath here, and then exhale, lower the knees, bend the elbows, come to lie on the belly. Inhale, lift the head, heart, shoulders, and hands. And then exhale, bring the hands down, tuck the toes as you go through bent knees, then up to the sky, downward dog. Feet hip distance or wider. Remember, bending the knees for any leg positions will really help. Spread the shoulders, spread the fingers, lift the tailbone. Breathing deep. And then look forward, step or walk to the front. On the inhale, take a lengthen, flat back, and then exhale, fold. And then inhale, stand, press down with the feet, roll up, or reverse swan dive. Rolling up is nicer in the spine. And we all meet in Tadasana. Keep it flowing. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees and swan dive. Inhale, flat back, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Now left foot steps back. Lower that knee. Lifting up is an option. If there's back pain, maybe the fingertips will stay lowered. See how you feel. Exhale, release the hands. Step back, either high plank or tabletop, sucking the belly in. Either way, engaging your whole front body as you press the floor away. Then exhale onto the knees, bend the elbows, come to lie. Inhale, lift head, heart, shoulders, and hands. And then exhale, lower down the hands, tuck toes, go through bent knees. And up to the sky, down dog, with a bend in the knees if you need it. And then just a deep breath in. Complete breath out. Look forward, step or walk to the front. On the inhale, take a lengthen. Then fold on the exhale. And then standing, you can roll up or reverse swan dive, and we all meet in Tadasana. For our third and final, bend the knees, sit low in an imaginary chair as the arms lift up to the sky. Any shoulder and neck pain, hands on the hips. Weight into the heels. This one's good for the lower back in a way because it's good for our core. So the core is engaged to lift the torso. Otherwise, we'd look a bit more bowed. So you want to really try and lift by engaging in, and also the arms lifting can help. Last breath, and then exhale, float the hands down. Step back. Oh, sorry, inhale, flat back, sorry. Before you do, exhale, forward fold, and then step back to a downward facing dog. We're going to go from here to our first warrior, and we'll just do warrior 1 and warrior 2, and that's where we'll leave it. So step your right foot forward, take as many steps as you need. Left foot turns down for warrior 1, hips face forward, front knee over the ankle, and arms lift. Gazes forward. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, open out to warrior 2. So not holding here too long. Opening the hips out, the arms out to a T, and the gaze over your front middle finger once you've just checked that that front knee is in an alignment. And then from there, cartwheel the hands down on the exhale, pivot on the back toes. Those that want to add in those vinyasas, throw them in. Otherwise, back to your downward facing dog. Remember, knees bent if you need it. Left foot steps forward, take as many steps as you need. Right foot turns down, and find warrior one on the other side. Hips face forward, gaze forward. Engaging the core always in all of our poses. There's this light activation in the tummy, and that will help to, well, it does a couple of things. Work our Uddiyana Bandha, which is something we don't talk about a lot because my resource and knowledge is limited, but yeah, the bandhas in the body are very important in yoga. So maybe we will explore them in another class. Take a deep breath in and then a deep exhale. Cartwheel the hands out, downward facing dog, or those taking vinyasas, throw it in, and then step back to your downward dog when you've finished. Great. Relax the head and neck. Make sure there's no tension. And then let's look forward, step or walk to the front of your mat. We're just going to come out of the chair that we came in. So inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, forward fold. And then bending into the knees, sitting in an imaginary chair, core engaged as you lift the arms. Making sure to not overarch and noticing if the bum is sticking out to come down lower. There's a neutral curvature of the spine. And then exhale, release the arms. Shoulder roll to finish. Okay, let's see what time. Okay, so we'll do one more standing thing. If you open the feet out nice and wide, so the feet are parallel to each other, and then bring your hands to your hips. You're going to inhale, squeeze the elbows together, crown of the head up, and then exhale, tilt forward from the hinges of the hips. As you imagine that the crown of the head is coming down to the floor. Now you can have two choices, hands on the hips or fingertips down. If you can't get the fingertips down, but they're really close, you can have a little bend in the knees. That might help you. Otherwise, hands on the hips and just use gravity. Now think about closing gap between chest and thighs. So if you can, you'd have the hands on the inside, or on the in line with the feet. You could also have them back. So if you have a little bit more with flexibility, the hands can go back and then pull away to close that gap even more. So wherever you're at, you're in a forward fold. Little micro bend in the knees, so there's never locking. Crown of the head is at least facing the floor or straight ahead. If you're about halfway, that's perfect as well. It will just make you use your core a little bit. So yeah, wherever you're at is perfect and where you're meant to be. Okay, and then to come out, come into a halfway lift, so just as you would do from standing. And then bring your left hand underneath your face. From there, you're going to inhale, lift your right arm up towards the sky, one line between wrists. And those that like to go further can reach that left hand across to the outside of the right leg. But the hips, trying to stay locked in position. The twist comes from the upper body, so the rib cage and above. Good. To come out, look down. Spin the right hand down underneath the face, left arm up. And if you did on the other side and it felt okay, right hand across to the outside of the left leg. And breathe there. Now look down as you release the top hand down. We're going to come out the way we went in. So little bend in the knees, core engaged, hands at hips. Inhale, slowly lift. And come all the way to standing. Shoulder roll if you need it. And then heel toe, I find, is nicer. So heel, toe, heel, toe in. Those that like to jump can jump. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor and do a long held pigeon. We're going to hold it for the longest time we've done on an online class. So bend the knees, step back. Those that want to add in a vinyasa, welcome to. Otherwise, onto the knees and find all fours. Okay, I'm going to time us, so I'll get the clock ready. That's not right. Look. Yeah, so anyone that can't do pigeon because of knee pain or whatever, I'll show you half pigeon. But if this doesn't feel right either, then just lie on your back and do thread the needle. I'm guessing you all know that one. So this is half. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. I think you guys know this. So now, otherwise, you're in pigeon. So watch. I'm going to start you here. So yeah, come into the restful version because it will obviously make it easier to hold. And I'm not going to tell you how long we're going to hold it because I think that will put you off. But we're going to see how it goes. This is an incredible stretch for all of us to do. I think everyone needs pigeon. I don't think I know anyone that doesn't need a pigeon. It gets this area that gets, it's basically the same place as the sciatic nerve and the piriformis. It all attaches in that glute on the outside of that hip. So it's getting the most incredible stretch there. And sometimes lower back pain comes from tightness in the glutes. So it's as simple as, yeah, this stretch. Not always, but yeah, so this pose can have a really good effect if you've got lower back pain. But like I say, if you've come into pigeon and you think, I can't hold this, sit down onto that right side, slide the left knee in, and there you are, you're in that half pigeon that I showed at the beginning, just you came into it a different way. So yeah, I'm going to leave you in a bit of silence so you can just discover and feel what's going on within. Try and stay as still as you can unless there's pain. Okay. It's your body saying to you after. So you're in it for about 3 minutes now, 1 minute to go. Notice how your body feels in relation to what's happening. Always honour it. So if you feel like you need to come out of the pose, then do. Don't just stay because I'm staying, or you think you should stay. Just stay. Come out whenever your body signals you to. You've got half a minute if you're staying. So to come out, lift your head, come up onto the hands. You've been there a while, so 4 minutes, well done. Let's come out however you need to. I love a downward dog after that to walk out and pedal the legs. But you might just want to slide the feet back or the knees back to all fours. So just do what you need and then drop back down onto the knees when you're ready. For the other side, So left knee into left wrist. Remember that half pigeon version? You could come from here by just sitting down straight away, sliding knee in, and bringing your forearms down. And that's half pigeon. Otherwise, if you're happy with full, or if you need the back on your back pose, I'm just going to assume you all know thread the needle, but I know you do. You do. Yeah, that's why it's good if you can say hi on the chat, just so I know you're all there. But yeah, I will just assume unless I know. Okay, so we're starting the clock. Just be with yourself for these next few minutes, even if that's uncomfortable. So I don't know if anyone's done a silent meditation before. It's quite popular in the yoga world, but it's one of the hardest parts of it is not the meditation, it's the being inside your head without being able to discuss it, to let it all out. So you're really processing it all within. But it can be really, really good to get to know ourselves. Sometimes it's something we try to hide from ourselves. So yeah, this can be the time. If you struggle, just deep breathing and focus on that. To come out, lift your head, come up onto the hands. Whatever you do on the other side, it's nice to do the same. So whether it's a down dog or a all fours, it really doesn't. But just do what feels good. So hopefully feeling quite nice in the body after that, but don't worry if not. We're going to do a twist now, so a twist should feel really good for the spine after. So drop the knees, sink back. In fact, before we do, child's pose. So we're going to need to sit back into the heels, forehead to the earth. And let go. So when you're ready, walk your hands towards your knees as you slowly come up. We're going to do that twist by a half spinal twist. So straightening the legs out in front of you, and then bring your right knee up and then across. Then you're going to just hug that right knee with your left arm. Could be anywhere along that arm, just hugging that knee in, sitting tall, bringing your right hand behind you, sit tall, and then look over your, towards the right. If there's any pain in the neck, you could look forward, but the most important thing is the twist in the spine, which is happening as we hug that knee. So the twist comes from hugging and turning towards the right side. And as you breathe into the belly, trying to expand that area, even though it's compressed. You might even feel the breath in the back. Okay, and then look forward. We're going to release that leg and do the same on the other side. Not as easy to hold those twists as long, so we'll do a line twist, which will feel even better. So left knee in and up, left foot across, hugging left knee with your right arm, and then left hand behind you. Sit tall, breathe in, look to your left as you breathe out. Right, and then to release, look forward, releasing that leg, straightening out. So as I said before, if you've got cushions around you, bolsters, if you're super duper lucky, but these could be anything like a yoga bolster or like a sofa or bed bolster, they're useful. But anyway, we're going to use a cushion for the next one, which will be our, I think it's dragonfly in yin yoga, but I don't actually know in in traditional. But anyway, legs are out to a straddle. Some of you will need to sit on blocks or cushions, and some of you may need cushions underneath the knees if they need to be bent. That's your body will tell you. And you just want the cushion on one side, but just keep it to the side. Okay, so we're gonna take the stretch onto the right side. Right side first. So what you'll do is bend your left foot in towards the groin, and then you're going to bring your right hand on the inside of that right leg. Okay, then left hand to your left hip and turn to your left. And then if you are able to go deeper, you would lift the arm up. if you're able to go deeper still, you would reach over. Now, if you can get a forearm down on the floor, that might help. And if you need to, if the arm gets tired from holding, you can rest the arm here. And the reason these cushions can be useful, you can do a stack of cushions, is you can sometimes rest. So if you can maybe make an elbow and rest the head on there and then stretch, but the arm stretching over is the most important part. So this arm, it could either be on the hips, but that's obviously less of a stretch to the area we're trying to get. It could be straight up, but overhead, that's where you're going to get right in, and if you can even release it. So the more you release over towards the right, the more you're going to get the stretch inside here, and it gets so tight. This is another key area from lower back pain. So yeah, you can also, loads of different variations with the arms, but just find one that works for you. And if you can reach the arm overhead, you'll get a beautiful stretch. And then just hold it. Feel quite nice. If it doesn't, of course, release. It's an area we don't easily stretch. So enjoy this last part of our seated sequence. And to release, lifting left arm up and then back down, releasing the cushion away. And we'll just do a little twist. So you're going to twist to your right and then release. Straighten out your left leg and bring in your right heel towards the groin. And then you can get that cushion if you've got any kind of cushion should work. But if you're like me and you need more of a stretch, don't use the cushion. You can just bring your right hand to your right hip, turn. So stages, this would be stage 1, stage 2, lifting the arm and staying here. We're using cushions. Stage 3 is to reach over, maybe dangle the arm on top of the head just so it's resting. And for me, that's the perfect stretch. So maybe I'd need just a little bit of a cushion for the head. So you find what works for you and just breathe into it. Lots and lots of versions. So yeah, just play around and find one that works for your body and getting the stretch in here. Inside, just below your last rib. Inside, deep, deep, deep. And you're ready to release, lifting the head, release that right arm, moving cushions, and then just a slow and gentle twist to your left, and then release. And one thing I didn't do, which is also important for lower back pain, is core. So we're not skipping it tonight, we're going to do it. So yeah, boat pose. If you're really struggling, if it hurts the back to do it, do this version. So hands on your shins, sitting really tall, and maybe just balance the toes lightly on the floor, but keep the spine tall. That is most important, and keep pressing your chest to your thighs. Those of you going into Navasana, find your Navasana, legs straight or bent, arms forward or up, whatever you need. Find a drishti, engage your core, so that will help add a little on to this. So engage your core, make sure it's turned on. Okay, and then bring the feet down when you're ready. Hugging the shins, slowly take your time to come down to lying on the belly. And as you do, bring the knees into your chest and give yourselves a hug, rocking from side to side. And this is a really good thing to do for the back. So if you're ever like in your day just feeling really in a lot of pain, just go on the floor, roll from side to side, hug your knees in. You can even just stay still as well, pressing firmly down as you do. Okay, and then from there, bring the soles of the feet to the floor for a bridge. Supported bridge if you want to make it gentle, keep the gentle theme. If you've got cushions or blocks, have them around underneath your knees. And then as you lift up, you roll whatever cushion you've got underneath the sacrum and you rest the sacrum on there. So you get the same benefits of bridge, but without really having to work so hard. But yeah, so you still get this inversion, still get a little bit of a contraction in the thighs and hips as you press the heels down. So it's not completely relaxed. Last few deep breaths before we come out. And then 2 come out. If you've got cushions underneath or blocks underneath, just lift the hips, remove it somehow, and then lower slowly back down to the floor. Okay, just check the time. Okay, final thing we'll do will be a spinal twist. So knees in, giving yourself a hug. One more time, and then bring your arms out to a T shape, palms down. Inhale, and then exhale, knees to the right and gaze to the left. And then just breathe here. Should feel lots of, you should feel the twist, sorry, on your left side. And feel that space as that left shoulder presses down. Breathe there. Just last breath here. And then when you're ready, gaze to center, knees to center. Neutralize and then find the other side, so knees to the left as you gaze to the right. If the neck prefers, you can look up. Press both shoulders down. Deep breath into that right side. Okay, and then 2 release. Look up to center if you're not. Bring the knees to center. And the last thing I should have said, we won't skip a happy baby because that's great for the back as well. So feet flexed, knees bent at a right angle. Take the outsides of the feet if you can reach. If not, take the outsides of the legs and pressing, most importantly, the back into the floor as you press the knees down towards the earth, towards the armpits. And just breathe into this amazing stretch and also pressure into the spine and either side of the spine. Some people like to rock. You could rock or just stay still. Okay, to finish, you're going to find a lying down position that works. Lower back pain, I invite you to try feet, hip, knees. So it looks a bit like that. That is really a lot nicer on the back than lying down straight. Or the other option is to lie on your side with your knees bent in a fetal position. That is really nice if you've got back pain. So I hope I've tried to add in lots and lots of stuff for anyone with back pain. I really hope it's helped. Let's see. Anyway, you're going to be in a Shavasana position, and I'll talk you through just a very simple breathing exercise that if you've been here before, you will have done it many, many times. And if not, I'll talk you through it. Very simple. Breathing in for the count of 7 and breathing out for the count of 11. Easy. But not always the easiest because it's quite long. So just shorten the breath as you need. Quicken the count as much as you need. And that's why you're going to count yourselves. Inhaling for the count of 7 and exhaling the count of 11. That extra 4 breaths is the crucial part of this breathing exercise. When you're ready, Make this your last one. Finishing on the exhale. And then when you have finished, just let your breath return to a natural, steady rate. Just watching now the gentle rise and fall of the body with the breath. No more control to your body and your breath, so they are in their most natural state where possible. And just scan the body, notice any areas that feel something, whatever it may be, without trying to change it or control it. Just notice it, where it be, how it is. And with softness, always move on with acceptance of how it is, and therefore how you are. Okay, let's think about coming out of relaxation very slowly. Start deepening your breath. Maybe wiggling your toes and your fingers. Taking it into a full body stretch. So arms overhead, feet together. Stretch apart. Then bringing the knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. And then taking your hug to your right side. And then a few breaths before you come up. And as you come up, just find your seated position, closing the eyes when you've arrived. Shuffle into it if you need, otherwise just come straight here. And bring your hands at your heart to prayer. As you sit tall, breathe in. And as you breathe out, bow down to the hands. Namaste. Lifting head and heart. Keep eyes closed, rub your hands. And then cup them over the eyes, breathe in. As you exhale, releasing the hands down, maybe a little face massage. That feels good. So hopefully that felt okay. Any questions, let me know. And as always, any requests for a class, let me know. Lots and lots of love. Stay warm.